we have a Magic Chef 1.5 cubic feet compact dryer. This is a portable dryer. The belt is broken, so we're going to go ahead and replace the belt today. So we got to take the back panel off. You're going to need a plus screwdriver and a hex key bit here. So take your, each of these screws here are going to have a pointy end. Make sure you put those aside because you're going to need those for later. These, however, have a different kind of look. I'll show you here. They're flat. So these are different and they're not going to go into the other screws. You can see the difference here. So make sure you keep these separate because these go for the dryer vent and then the pointy ones go for the actual panel. Now there's 3 on top here and 3 on bottom. Those 3 are part of what keeps holds the barrel, supports the barrel. So you'll take those off last. There's 2 down here that are the hex bit key, and those are the 2 that you'll have to take off at the end here. This one here and this one here. So I like to do is I keep them organized here. I'll put the sharp ones for the panel and then the flat ones for the vent in different bowls. You may not need to remove this, but I'm doing it anyway. Okay, so I forgot to mention this at the beginning. Make sure your dryer is unplugged. All right, do not do this when it's plugged in. Another thing is I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 of the panel screws and then 4 for the vent. We're now ready to remove with the hex key here. So I got a special adapter for that. So let's go ahead and take these 2 off at the bottom. All right. So now the panel just comes right off. All right. So this is the back of the dryer. So now let's remove the old belt. So this barrel, it rotates here, and then there's a fan here that pushes the hot air out. This belt broke. All right, this is the damaged belt. We're going to toss that in the trash. All right, so now we got 6 more screws to remove. Actually, 6 here. We actually have 10 more. There's 4 here and 6 here. Now you don't want to take the barrel out. You got to remember, there's wires plugged in. Don't mess with any of that. Okay, you could break the wires and now your dryer's no good. So you got to be very careful with this part. You want to remove the screws so you can slide the new belt around the pulley here. So I'm going to try to get this open and we'll get back to you. So these screws are different than the ones that go on the panel. They're a little bit longer. So make sure you put those to the side. And these ones here, they're also different. They're a little bit smaller. And they also have the flat head. They go in these 4 slots here. All right, now we're going to attempt to put the belt in place. You have removed all your screws here. And now I'm realizing that these wires, I might need to unplug them. Let me think here. So we have a manual that we're going to link in the description, as well as where to purchase this belt. There's some twisty ties on my model here. I'm going to go ahead and loosen these off. Take these off. And I should be able to move the wire out of the way. So I don't actually need to unplug or do anything with it. So now the wire is loose, right? and I'll tie that back on when we're done. So we'll start by putting this down through here. Kind of got to push this over. And so if you look here, if you can come close on the belt here, come on side here, you see that it goes around the pulley there. Bring it down to the bottom and kind of mosey it through there. Okay. So now that it's around your barrel or your pulley, you can bring it to the other side here, which is right there. Okay. Okay, I'm going to put the screws back in on the top to give it some support. That should tighten up the belt and reduce the slack. So we'll go ahead and put our frame back on. Alright, so now I've tightened the frame. It's not going anywhere. So if I turn the barrel, there's another pulley down here with a belt. Don't mess with that. But if I turn the barrel, if you look in here, you can see the fan moving. Bring it close here and look in there. Keep going. See, there's the fan. And it's moving because of the pulley. So I'm going to plug it in and see what happens. Don't try this at home unless you know what you're doing. So let's turn it on and see if it turns. Blowing some dust out there, but it seems to be working. Yep. I'm going to go ahead and twist these back on. And then I'm going to tighten the frame back up, or the panel, put the panel back on. And it should be done. So we'll go ahead and put the panel back on. Make sure your frame, all these are tight. One little trick I want to share is whenever you're putting the bolts back or the screws back in, they should go in pretty easily and just do it till it's tight enough. If they're giving you resistance, then you're stripping the screw, so stop and restart and readjust as you're putting it in. For example, if I take this one here, it should just go right in without much of a fuss, right? So see there, it's just going right in, and now I can't turn it no more. I stop. Okay, and I think that belt was $20. Is that right?
Yeah.
$20 online, and you picked it up from
Amazon.com.
From Amazon. Nice.
Make sure it's called the dryer build, and make sure to get the specification right. 1.5 cubic feet.
That's right.
At least that is for this brand.
Yep.
Model number is given.
There you go. Perfect. Thank you.
Magic Shave.
Thank you. And then one more thing I wanted to say was I bought this at Home Depot.
The dryer?
Yeah, about 4 years ago. Home Depot's website for about $250, I think it was, maybe less. Maybe it was actually less. I can't remember, but I got the portable dryer and washer set for like $400 or $500. But yeah, just put everything back on and put it back in the maintenance room or dryer and washer room, wherever you're at. Put your vent back on. I'm sure you know how to do that. But thanks for tuning in, and now you have a working dryer. One thing I wanted to mention, I didn't mention this, is that I left these loose so I could kind of adjust the back panel here, because some of the sockets were not aligned for the holes. So I'm going to tighten it at the end here. And I do want to give a shout out to my amazing wife. She's the one who found the part online. I was considering buying a whole new one, and she said she found it online for $20. I said, go ahead and get it. It's $20. Let's see if we can fix it. And I'm pretty satisfied with the outcome. So thank you to you. So you just hook this in. All right, that's in. Plug it into the outlet. Turn Turn it on.
There's no sound.
Well, it's not as bad. This still's got a little noise. It'll get the job done. See ya.